Over the years, my main interest as far as reducing waste is concerned has been to try and do something about farm wastes. By farm waste we obviously mean mainly manures, you know, animal manures, pig slurry, cow slurry, chicken muck, this sort of thing. I've been interested in this for about 30 years, and I feel that every farm that has animals should have a digester, or the muck from those animals should be going to a digester. The reason being that when you put muck through a digester system, not only do you get the energy out of it, but the releasing of that energy improves the quality of the remaining muck as a fertilizer. And over the last 30 years we've installed quite a number of these plants on farms around the country, gained a lot of experience. There's been very little support for the technology, but there's signs now that the support is going to be forthcoming in the near future. In Germany they've now apparently built something like 3,000 installations, and they're producing, I'm told, 550 megawatts of electricity from their digesters, which is the equivalent of a nuclear reactor. And those have been built in the last 5 years or so. In this country we've only got about 20 such installations, and most of them are not generating electricity. But I believe one day most organic wastes will pass through a digester. A lot of sewage sludge passes through a digester, and energy is recovered from that. But there are so many potential sources of organic waste that could be used to be digested to produce energy, either for electricity or for other purposes. And at the same time it reduces the smell problems, and it enhances the fertilizer value of the manure. Solar panel, it's only a small one, as you can see. That produces about 80 watts of electricity. It's connected up to some batteries which I've got down there. They are old wheelchair batteries. Very often when wheelchair batteries die, they're in pairs. One dies, the other's okay. Well, I've got half a dozen wheelchair batteries there. They get charged up by the solar panel. And what I've got here is a little inverter. This cost about 30 quid. And that clips on the battery, and that gives me mains power, you see. So if I just clip that onto the battery there, like that, and I plug in the plug, right, switch it on, I now have mains electricity right through the house. So I can put lights on, or I can put the radio on, just like normal, or a television, all from the solar panel.
This tiny windmill, which is rated at 90 watts, trickle feeds a battery bank, 12-volt battery bank, as indeed does the solar panel. And that powers a 12-volt ring main, on which I have electric lights, for example, and a couple of other things like radio cassette and that sort of thing. So they're powered through there. And on an inverter, have a small inverter, you can run you know, mains voltage things, wireless, that sort of thing. Fax machine, it runs off that mains. So that's what that does. It trickle feeds battery bank. But for large appliances, like the washing machine, for example, iron, then I have to use generator, which is gas powered, kind of gas. And whenever the generator is on, there is a battery charger at the same time, which feeds this battery bank all the time. What I really like is a bright windy winter's day, because there's all this sun and wind pouring juice, and then I can do lots of faxes in a high wind, you know. But curiously enough, although you can see quite an exposed spot, I say I do get more from the solar panel, I think, over the year than I do from the wind. I'm not sure why that is, but it does seem to be the case. I put the solar panel in afterwards, and it made a very significant difference to the power coming out of the batteries.